Pro Clubs has been neglected for far too long now. This game mode has the potential to be so much for EA Sports and the FIFA community. For EA, this seems like a simple and easy way to earn money. They could make an 11v11 eSports scene with full leagues, promotion and relegation, and tournaments worldwide while boasting competitiveness and a skill gap because each player would be controlled manually. As for the community, you could argue it's the most fun game mode because you're able to take it as casually or as seriously as you'd like without falling behind like an Ultimate Team. You play with your friends, make your own personal player, and enjoy playing the actual game. Something that epitomizes not just what FIFA should be about, but online gaming in general. So why is it that Pro Clubs is just not as cared for or looked into as Ultimate? It's money, isn't it? Right? It's money. It's of course it seems like anytime a new FIFA is coming out and they do a reveal of the game mode, the list of new features looks like SpongeBob's shopping list. You think I'm exaggerating, but FIFA 15's Pro Clubs Deep Dive was literally just 4 things. I mean, for God's sake, one of the features was just automatically searching for a new match when the previous one ended. The other features included more customization, looking up other Pro Club players, and improved AI. That was it. That's all that was touched on for Pro Clubs. These types of improvements have been pretty standard throughout Pro Clubs' entire existence, but initially, there were actually genuine improvements. From FIFA 09 to FIFA 10, users could actually create a player and improve their attributes, weak foot, skill moves, traits, and celebrations through accomplishments. You could also import your own face into the game, which is perfect for someone like me because I don't know how to do it manually. For these accomplishments, your player would get better as you did more position-specific tasks, like scoring goals in a game as a striker. Some accomplishments were also long-term focused, so if you scored 100, 250, and 500 goals with your striker, for example, you'd get attribute increases. Now that system's not perfect, I know how you little gremlins work, alright? You'd be up for the next 24 hours just trying to score 500 goals, so maybe that system plus the current system is probably best. While these were nice additions from FIFA 09's version of Pro Clubs, where you could not create your own player and had to select a real-life pro to play as, wait a second, that's actually kind of cool, they should add that as a feature again. The changes over the next few years were bare-boned to say the least. The FIFA 11 Pro Club details, for example, were nothing to get excited about. You got a few more stats for defenders and midfielders, you could get cooler items to wear, but there was nothing of real substance or value. Real quick, let's take a look at the changes between FIFA 11 and FIFA 16. Surely, within a 5-year gap, there had to have been at least some type of moderate improvement, right? So you saw the interface changed, okay? You had a new EASFC catalog for customizable things, all right? You had new hairstyles, okay? I think that was it. For 5 years, those were the only things that changed besides small things like tuned AI or tuned matchmaking, and most of them came in FIFA 14. Oh, I almost forgot, in FIFA 14, you could also finally change your kit number. You know, 5 years after Pro Clubs was introduced. These changes were so little early on, some people thought that the entire game mode itself would be scrapped. But finally, in FIFA 17, we saw some legitimate change. The growth of your pro would now also be based on match rating, so you wouldn't have teammates selfishly hoarding the ball. Player growth would also make sense as it was position specific, meaning a striker's shooting would improve more quickly than their defending. Traits would actually add an additional boost to your ratings, and you could finally create a club with full kit and crest customization. Pro Clubs was finally getting the attention that it deserved, and throw in the fact that the gameplay was actually fun that year, the game mode had never been better. The following FIFA also had a rather small but solid improvement with the introduction of a skill tree. Players could now choose what stats to increase based on their playstyle and what they deemed important for themselves and their club. Unfortunately, this is where we start to see Pro Clubs get neglected yet again. For one, this is around the time where we started to see other games introduce crossplay. Rocket League introduced it across all consoles in February of 2019, while Fortnite added it around September of 2018. At this point in time, Pro Clubs was still 5 years away from crossplay, even though Ultimate Team had it a year before. As for the individual games, FIFA 19 saw virtually no changes. I mean, the skill tree is quite literally identical here. FIFA 20 only saw more customization and bug fixes. FIFA 21 introduced tactics, which isn't as important as it sounds because ideally you're playing with humans. FIFA 22 gave us women players. FIFA 23 gave us skill games for more XP, and FC 24 gave us, as mentioned before, crossplay, as well as a new season format. The thing is, all of these features by themselves are actually pretty decent, and if all of them were added into one or maybe two iterations of the game, that would be fine, but this was spread over 6 iterations of the game, and that is completely unacceptable. Not to mention, there have been countless glitches, bugs, and huge problems in every single one of these games, some of which taking months to fix. Within the past 2 FIFAs, people could not play pro clubs for over a month because matchmaking was broken. A huge campaign under the hashtag #SaveProClubs gained lots of attention because EA were either too lazy or too incompetent to fix this issue. Someone who did a great job covering this was Madman Pro Clubs, so if you want more information on it, be sure to give that video a watch. Besides a couple good years of solid additions into Pro Clubs, the game mode has gone largely untouched for far too long, instead focusing on Ultimate Team. And you know what the worst part is? Pro Clubs has never even had the chance to flourish. I mentioned it was introduced back in FIFA 09. Let's check when Ultimate Team was introduced. Yeah, like I said, Pro Clubs has never even had a chance. Now, it's not exactly a surprise that EA don't look at Pro Clubs as much as Ultimate Team. I mean, when one single game mode is making nearly as much as the total game sales, any company, let alone a scumbum money-grabbing company like EA, is going to take advantage. What is surprising is that the opportunity to make more money has gone completely unnoticed by these guys, because Pro Clubs has an amazing amount of untapped potential. For one, the eSport scene could end up being more financially viable over a period of time compared to Ultimate Team, because more people would be playing, potential leagues could be made and sponsored by EA themselves across multiple countries with potential international tournaments, and the viewership would undoubtedly increase as well. I can't believe I'm trying to help EA make money here.
How did that make you feel? Dirty all over. You get used to it.
Let's be real, the current esports scene is completely boring. You have pros who, to no fault of their own, have to do the same attacking plays over and over again and are desperate to not make any mistakes. It's not about who can make good plays or be more innovative, it's about who can limit their errors. That right there is boring. You want to know what's not boring? 22 people on a stage, battling it out to see which team is better. More celebrations, more intensity, more of a need for tactics, and it would include a much higher skill gap. While the skill gap wouldn't be completely perfect because, you know, the game sucks, at least the terrible attacking and defensive AI would be taken out of the question, and actual people would need to be relied on for positioning. Overall, the scene would be more competitive, require a higher amount of skill, and most importantly, it would be more fun. And speaking of fun, see what I did there for that transition? It was pretty good, right? The content creation for this game would absolutely explode. We've had great series in the past, like KSI playing with Nepenthes, Calfreezy, and AA9 Skills in their journey to Division 1 back in FIFA 12. We've seen JCC build a huge following with all of his Pro Clubs content over the years, and Miniminter has done his Big Brother clubs for a couple FIFAs too. This game mode is a goldmine of content waiting to be explored, and I'm sure that I haven't even mentioned all of the other great Pro Club content creators either. Now, is there any way that Pro Clubs could get more attention and love that it deserves? First, it's important to be asking the right people. I personally am not a member of any Pro Clubs organization, so while I might have some ideas that could be thrown around, it would be a lot better to be looking at JCC, the VFL, and other trusted members of the Pro Clubs community to hear their insights. But as an idea that I do have, I think that EA have to implement some type of pro tournament themselves, whether that's 3v3, 4v4, or the full 11v11. Allow players chances to compete on bigger stages in front of more people. Pro Clubs could also add substitutions for friends who are joining late or who got disconnected from the match and want to rejoin. But honestly, the most important thing would just to make the game mode function properly. I mean, Jesus Christ, man. Regardless if you'd want to become a professional Pro Clubs player or make content, it's in your best interest to help make Pro Clubs a viable game mode, because as I said earlier in the video, It's what gaming should be about. One of my favorite videos that I've ever made was a Pro Clubs video back in FIFA 17. I still occasionally watch it because it's hilarious, just me and some friends goofing around, roasting each other, and just having a good time.
I'm back, boys.
Oh my lord. God damn it.
Do you know what BVB stands for? Brett
Bro. Victory
Brett. Dortmund put me on their jersey.
That lagged right as it
That
was going
lag.
towards a...
Shut up.
I'm gonna kill myself.
Jesus Christ.
What the hell?
What was that, Corey?
That was good passing.
Okay, bro.
I didn't know I could actually do that.
I tried. Oh, it went through it!
It went through my foot. You need to work on your head.
Yeah, give me that head.
I haven't bought the Give Good Head package like Jacob has.
If you are sick and tired of Ultimate Team and the sweaty nature of the FUT game modes, I sincerely recommend Pro Clubs. It's consistently forgotten about because it's not given the recognition it deserves, while Ultimate Team constantly needs your attention because of its relentless grind. I'm not saying that the gameplay would be perfect, or even good for that matter, but when you're playing with friends in a fun environment, the game becomes more tolerable, you become less angry and annoyed, and you start to actually have fun. Oh, for God's sake.